crashing on the moon. Star bright, climbing up a ladder.
I want Mommy back. She always knew how to make things okay.
Miss Michael said that we can stay together if a relative steps forward, right?
Are you Joshua Jerrico?
I hope so. I've been opening his mail.
The 90s hit different when it came to sitcoms. You probably don't even remember the show On Our Own, but if you do, it's totally worth a throwback. Back in the mid-90s, when neon windbreakers and slap bracelets were all the rage, ABC dropped On Our Own on us.
Staring at the mountain, the edge of the ocean.
This feel-good sitcom followed the Jerrico fam, a squad of 7 siblings trying to figure things out in the O'Fallon Park neighborhood of St. Louis after losing their parents in a car accident. But instead of falling apart, big bro Josh, played by Ralph Lewis Harris, stepped up to take care of his younger bros and sisters.
Are you Joshua Jerrico?
I hope so. I've been opening his mail.
So what made On Our Own stand out? Besides the funny moments, the show had something special. 6 of the siblings were played by real-life Smollett siblings: Jazz, Jockey, Jake, JoJo, Journey, and Jussie Smollett. Yep, the same Jussie from Empire. Their chemistry on screen was off the charts, and their real sibling energy brought something extra to the show. But hold up, before we get too nostalgic, let's not forget the recent drama surrounding Jussie. You know what I'm talking about? The web of legal drama that had everyone buzzing. Bro even did a little bit of jail time. We'll definitely be diving into that too, because come on, this story wouldn't be complete without it.
I want Mommy back. She always knew how to make things okay.
Throughout the series, we got to see them deal with everything from sibling spats to school dances. On Our Own was all about family love and sticking together through thick and thin. Sadly, even with all its charm, the show only lasted 1 season. ABC pulled the plug after just 20 episodes. But for those who remember, it left a mark. So grab your nostalgia glasses and let's dive back into the world of the Jerrico fam. We're talking behind-the-scenes scoop, fun facts, viral court case, prison charges, and why this underrated gem still deserves some love today. On Our Own was a 90s sitcom that aired on ABC from September 13th, 1994 to April 14th, 1995. The show was the brainchild of David W. Ducklin, who also had a hand in making Family Matters a hit. Big names like Thomas L. Miller and Robert L. Boyette, the duo behind the show's development, were also in the mix. And if you're a fan of Sister, Sister, or Smart Guy, you've got Suzanne DePass to thank, as she was one of the executive producers here too. Gary Mentier, another Family Matters alum, jumped in as co-executive producer. On Our Own was brought to life by Miller Boyette Productions, along with Lightkeeper Productions, Duclon's company, and DePass Entertainment. Fun fact, it was the first Miller Boyette sitcom to be entirely produced by Warner Bros. Television. The Jerrico fam in On Our Own was all about those sibling shenanigans, holding it down in the O'Fallon Park hood in St. Louis. Tragedy hit hard when their parents died in a car crash 6 months before the show kicks off, leaving big bro Josh, played by Ralph Lewis Harris, to step up as the unofficial parent to his 6 siblings.
Good news, Josh. Aunt Jelcinda's about to make a miraculous recovery.
On Our Own originally rocked Sunday nights at 7, 36, 30C, but then ABC switched it up, pushing the show to a later slot at 9, 38s, 30C, right after Step by Step on TGIF. But even with that primetime push, the ratings didn't get any love. After just 6 more episodes, ABC called it quits and pulled the plug.
Jelcinda! Miss Michaels is here.
Coming. Woo!
There's no single reason that can explain why it got axed, but here's the tea. Even with a feel-good story and a talented lineup, On Our Own just couldn't pull in the crowd. It dropped in '94, right when the sitcom scene was popping off, but it didn't get the viewer boost it needed to survive. The show first aired on Sunday nights, but then got shuffled to a later time slot after Step by Step on TGIF. Unfortunately, that move didn't do much for its ratings, and ABC decided to cut the cord. The show tried to ride the wave of Mrs. Doubtfire by having Josh dress up as Aunt Jelcinda, but let's be real, it felt a bit forced and lacked that genuine vibe. The 90s were a golden era for sitcoms, with tons of iconic shows fighting for attention. On Our Own had some major competition, making it tough to stand out. In the end, ABC pulled the plug after just 1 season. Sure, there were other black-led shows that faced the same fate back then, but this wasn't an isolated case. Networks were quick to cut shows that didn't meet their standards. Now, understandably, just judging Judging by all sitcoms that have been canceled in the past, prior to this show by major networks, it starts to feel sus, doesn't it? I mean, all these shows didn't meet their standards. Or were they just unlucky? I mean, a couple black shows stuck like The Fresh Prince, but there's a bunch of them that made so much of an impression that even though they didn't last for very long, a lot of fans still remember them fondly. Here's some of them.
Dexter and I are getting a divorce.
Yes!
The Royal Family. It ran from 1991 to 1992. Red Fox was back on the sitcom scene in 91 with The Royal Family, teaming up with the fabulous Della Reese. Fox played Al Royal, an Atlanta mail carrier ready to kick back and enjoy retirement until his daughter and her 3 kids move in. Just when things were looking up for the show, tragedy struck. Fox suffered a fatal heart attack on set, and though the show tried to bounce back with Jackie, it never found its groove and got canceled after just 16 episodes.
We're back. What a lovely cemetery. So modern.
Oh, you should have been there.
That's My Mama ran from 1974 to 1975. Clifton Davis was the hot stuff back in the day, starring as a smooth-talking barbershop owner in That's My Mama. The show revolved around Clifton and his nosy mama, plus a bunch of meddling friends and fam. It managed to crank out 40 episodes before getting the boot in December 75.
I don't want to hear that. I don't care what kind of diet she went on. Oprah and still lost too much weight.
New Attitude, 1990. Cheryl Lee Ralph, who's always been iconic, joined forces with Phyllis Yvonne Stickney for New Attitude, a TGIF show that had all the makings of a hit. Cheryl and Phyllis played sisters who poured their savings into a beauty salon in South Central LA, and with a cast that included Morris Day and a young Lawrence Tate, it seemed like a recipe for success. Sadly, the show was canceled after just 8 episodes, with only 6 actually airing. He's the Mayor, 1986. This ABC sitcom had a catchy theme song that still sticks with me. He's the Mayor starred Kevin Hooks as Carl Burke, a 25-year-old who becomes mayor after the previous one got the boo. Despite taping 13 episodes, only 10 ever saw the light of day before the show was canned.
You are sure he's okay, Cliff? He's looking at me like I look at a pot roast.
Sugar and Spice, 1990. Loretta Devine and Vickelyn Reynolds teamed up for Sugar and Spice, a CBS sitcom about 2 middle-aged sisters raising their teenage niece in Oklahoma City. With the hilarious Leslie Jordan as the sassy restaurant owner, the show had potential but only lasted a few months before getting axed after airing just a handful of episodes.
I don't know why you don't just give him some, marry him, and call it a day.
South Central, 1994. South Central was a gritty show that tackled life in the rough streets of South Central LA, with Tina Lifford playing a single mom raising her kids, including a young Lawrence Tate, with a little help from her job at a local market. Despite its strong cast and powerful stories, the show was canceled after just 10 episodes, sparking accusations of racism and a call for a boycott from activists like Jesse Jackson.
No one really wants to have this anniversary dinner in the first place, is that it?
That's it, Dad.
True Colors ran from 1990 to 1992. True Colors on Fox featured an interracial blended family living in Baltimore. The show had its moments, especially with the legendary Nancy Walker as the grandma, but it didn't quite hit the mark and was ultimately canceled after 2 seasons.
He's one of those dudes that make the Pentagon look integrated.
Baby, I'm Back, 1978. Demond Wilson starred in Baby. I'm Back as a dad trying to win back his family after ditching them because of his gambling habit. With Denise Nicholas as his wife and a young Kim Fields as his daughter. The show had potential but didn't quite catch on. It was canned after just 12 episodes, supposedly to make room for more good times.
Does this affect our dinner date Saturday night?
Thea ran from 1993 to 1994. Comedienne Thea Vidal starred in Thea as a widowed mom hustling to take care of her 4 kids, including a young Brandy Norwood in her first acting gig. Set in Houston, the show had a promising start but quickly fizzled out, leading to its cancellation after 19 episodes. These shows may have come and gone, but they left memories that still make a lot of people smile. You probably don't remember most of these classic gems, so you tell me, conspiracy theory or sus? You should check them out, BTW, you're welcome. Okay, back to On Our Own. Interesting cast choices, wouldn't you say?
You ain't gonna be dead. camera ain't gonna be here.
No, but the music is.
Ralph Lewis Harris is the guy who made us laugh with his spot-on comedic timing. If you were into 90s TV, you probably remember him from hits like In Living Color and On Our Own. He also popped up in Dreamgirls and had a moment on Comedy Central Presents. He might not be a household name, but his talent definitely left a mark during the golden era of sitcoms.
Outside want to understand, like, who was it? Who was Lauren? Why did she...
In On Our Own, Harris played Josh Jerrico, aka Aunt Jelcinda or Mama J. As the oldest sibling, Josh took on the heavy task of raising his 6 younger siblings after their parents passed away in a car accident. His character was the glue that held the show together, with his deep love and dedication to his family making him unforgettable. But cross-dressing and male black actors have a complicated relationship. It's still a conversation even now. It's a topic that's got a lot of layers. So this whole thing has roots going way back to minstrel shows where white performers played black characters in a pretty offensive way, often in exaggerated and demeaning roles. This kind of stuff pushed harmful stereotypes that made black men seem effeminate or ridiculous. Now fast forward to the 90s. Jamie Foxx brought us Wanda on In Living Color, a not-so-glamorous lady searching for love. Wanda was a hilarious take on beauty standards and the idea of what's acceptable. Then there's also Tyler Perry's Medea. This sassy grandma turned Perry into a major player in Hollywood, showing off how a character can become a huge cultural icon. Some folks think black men in dresses are being used to push the idea that they're less masculine. This is seen as part of a bigger Hollywood agenda to mess with black masculinity. The discussion also touches on transphobia. If wearing dresses is only okay in comedy, it reinforces some pretty outdated and harmful views. Comedian Cat Williams turned down a role in Big Mama's House 2 because it involved wearing a dress. He felt it was disrespectful to him and his community, and he's pretty vocal about his belief that Hollywood's dress-wearing trend is more about agenda than progress. Impact on careers. Characters like Wanda, Geraldine, and Medea have left a mark. They've influenced actors' careers in major ways. Eddie Murphy, for instance, played several characters and dresses in The Nutty Professor, showcasing his range and boosting his career. Some see these roles as progress and a way to challenge norms, while others think it's just a way to reinforce old stereotypes. In the end, whether or not to wear a dress is up to the actor, and its impact can vary widely.
In a movie, yes. Yeah, it probably is the most important role.
Jurnee Smollett kicked off her acting journey as a 90s kid, lighting up our screens in shows like On Our Own and Full House. But her real breakout moment came with Eve's Bayou in 1997. Directed by Kasi Lemmons, this film didn't just showcase her talent, it catapulted her into the spotlight, earning her a Critics' Choice Movie Award. Fast forward to adulthood, and Journee's star kept rising. She's tackled everything from The Great Debaters to Temptation, Confessions of a Marriage Counselor, and even suited up as Black Canary in Birds of Prey. Her TV game is just as strong, with roles in Friday Night Lights, Underground, True Blood, and the Emmy-nominated Lovecraft Country. In On Our Own, Jurnee played Jordy Jerrico, one of 7 siblings left orphaned after their parents' tragic accident, with the eldest brother Josh, Ralph Lewis Harris, stepping up as their guardian. Jordy brought some serious heart to the show, proving her acting chops even as a kid.
A lot of cooking things in the works.
Okay,
yeah.
okay,
More
cool.
cooking content, YouTube. Check out my YouTube, all that.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. And your YouTube is?
YouTube/Jake Smollett.
Jake Smollett isn't just an actor. He's been hustling since he was a baby, literally. He started off modeling in diapers in NYC, but that was just the beginning of his wild ride. Jake's first big break was in the TV series Hangin' with Mr. Cooper, but he really made a splash on Our Own. Teaming up with his 5 siblings, Jake played Jock Jerrico, one of 7 kids left to fend for themselves after their parents' tragic accident. The show brought all the feels, with Jake adding his own charm to the mix. Jake didn't just stick to TV. He hit the big screen in Eve's Bayou alongside his sister Jurnee. His role as Poe Batiste was a hit, proving that talent runs deep in the Smollett family. Jake also stepped into the comic book world with his role as Noser in The Middleman on ABC Family. The show was quirky, and Jake's character fit right in with the offbeat vibes. But acting isn't Jake's only passion. He's got serious skills in the kitchen too. Jake and his siblings teamed up on Food Network's Smollett Eats, where they whipped up family-style meals with a whole lot of love. He even flexed his foodie knowledge as a guest judge on Chopped Jr. Jake's love for food didn't stop there. He's hosted cooking shows and even penned a cookbook. Blending his love for food and family family into everything he does. In On Our Own, Jake brought Jock Jerrico to life, one of the 7 siblings trying to stick together after a tragic accident. With social services on their tails, the eldest brother, Josh, Ralph Lewis Harris, went all out, including dressing up as their Aunt Jelcinda to keep the family from being split up. Jake's character added a ton of heart to this classic 90s sitcom.
And so you want to have that in your space anyway.
Okay.
Most men they love the way that feels,
right,
but it's
true.
just still you want to reflect who they are.
Jazz Smollett is the ultimate multi-hyphenate queen. Just like the rest of the Smollett crew, Jazz kicked off her acting career on Our Own back in 1994 to 95. She played Jai Jerrico in all 20 episodes, bringing some serious real-life family vibes to the screen. After the show ended, Jazz took a break from acting, but she couldn't stay away for long. She made her return with a role in the short film I Want You in 2007, showing she still had the acting chops. Jazz didn't just stick to acting. She jumped into producing, working on projects like In Silent Spaces and Always With You. The latter was even written and directed by her future hubby, Troy Warwell. Talk about power couple goals. Jazz's talents don't stop at film and TV. In 2016, she co-produced and starred in the family cooking show Smollett Eats with her siblings. And if that wasn't enough, she co-authored a cookbook, Recipes and Moments from a Nomadic Life, with Jake, Journey, and Jussie in 2018. The Smollett fam knows how to serve up some serious food and feels. Jazz has also popped up on a bunch of popular TV shows like The Today Show, The Chew, Rachel Ray, Home and Family, and The Dr. Oz Show. Plus, she's shown off her cooking skills as a contestant on Guy's Grocery Games. In On Our Own, Jazz brought the character of Jai Jerrico to life, one of the 7 siblings trying to keep it together after a tragic accident left them orphaned. The real-life Smollett sibling connection made the show feel all the more authentic and heartwarming.
It's a very angering situation. It's been a complete mental marathon for him and my family. But he's very strong, he's very focused.
Jockey Smollett was a total cutie when he first popped up on Our Own. Back then, he was living the TV life with his real-life siblings, JoJo, Jazz, Jussie, Journey, and Jake, playing his on-screen fam. Jockey took a step back from the limelight to focus on school and career. He's now crushing it in the tech world as a data analysis manager at Snowflake Computing. Before that, he was a data analyst at SurveyMonkey. Talk about a tech wizard. Jockey didn't stay away from the spotlight for long. He joined his siblings for the family cooking show Smollett Eats in 2016. Together, they served up some tasty dishes and fun moments on screen. In early 2019, Jockey had his brother Jussie's back during a tough time. Jussie was caught up in some serious controversy, and Jockey spoke out, saying the media had been unfairly harsh on his brother. Oh, we'll get that juicy story outside of tech. Jockey's got his eyes on real estate and other exciting ventures. He's keeping his options open and exploring new opportunities. In On Our Own, Jockey played JoJo Jazz, one of the 7 siblings left without parents after a tragic accident. His role brought a lot of heart to the show, and now he's balancing his tech career with family and future plans.
I don't know. It's a very difficult situation for him.
His big break came in 1991 on the comedy drama Roseanne, where he joined his 5 siblings for some screen action. But it was the 90s gem On Our Own that really highlighted the Smollett family's on-screen magic. JoJo's not just about acting, though. He's also the mastermind behind the family cooking show Smollett Eats on Food Network, proving he can whip up both drama and delicious meals. In On Our Own, JoJo took on the role of Jimmy Jerrico, one of the 7 siblings grappling with their new reality. His portrayal brought a genuine touch to the show, capturing the close-knit vibe of the Smollett clan.
Chasing the sky, trying to fly.
Meet Jussie Smollett, born June 21, 1982, in Santa Rosa, California, a name you might recognize from both TV screens and music scenes. Here's the scoop on his career. Jussie kicked off his acting journey as a kid, making his debut in The Mighty Ducks back in '92. He also showed up in movies like North and Alien, Covenant. From 2015 to 2019, Jussie was the standout star of Empire, playing Jamal Lyon. His role as Jamal was a game changer, bringing a positive portrayal of a black to TV. Jussie is biracial, mixing African American and Jewish heritage, and he came out as At 19, in On Our Own, Jussie played Jesse Jerrico, one of the 7 Jerrico siblings coping with the loss of their parents. His role brought real emotion and family vibes to the show, making it all the more memorable. Now, unless you're a hermit and don't do any sort of socializing at all, you've probably heard of Jussie. I mean, Empire was, and some will say is a pretty big show. But even if you haven't seen Empire, you still probably heard about Jussie. Oh, Jussie's scandal, it's etched into culture. They will talk about it in the future. Just the ridiculousness of it all.
I am innocent, and I am not suicidal. If I did this, then it means that I stuck my fist in the fears of Black Americans in this country for over 400 years and the fears of the LGBTQ community.
So here's the tea on Jussie Smollett's big drama. It all kicked off in Chicago back in 2019 when Jussie claimed he was attacked by 2 masked dudes. He said they punched him, poured some weird substance on him, and even tied a rope around his neck. He also said they shouted MAGA, which had people wondering if it was a political stunt. At first, it seemed pretty intense. Celebs like Viola Davis and Janelle Monáe showed their support, and even his Empire co-stars had his back. Jussie was all over the news, and his refusal to hand over his phone to the cops had folks buzzing. He said it was private, but the police didn't push too hard for it. Things took a wild turn when the Osundero brothers, who were extras on Empire, got involved. The brothers were eventually arrested, but no charges stuck. It turns out they were seen buying stuff that matched Jussie's attack story, but they said it was for a fitness plan Jussie paid them for. The drama hit new levels when Jussie started calling himself and refused to explain. He claimed the attack was real and that he was being framed. The cops, however, started to suspect that he might have faked the whole thing. In court, Jussie was hit with 16 counts of disorderly conduct for filing a fake report. Despite his claims of innocence, the jury found him guilty on 5 of those counts. In the end, Jussie got slapped with 150 days in jail, 30 months of probation, and a $145,000 fine. Jussie's defense argued that the whole thing was a big misunderstanding, but Judge James Lynn wasn't having it. He told Jussie that his actions had seriously messed up his life. The case left everyone talking, and now it's a cautionary tale about the perils of going too far for attention.